We are at the dawn of a new era of Wisconsin women's basketball. Marisa Moseley is the new head coach, about to start her first year at the helm. And this is a program that is ready for her. She comes with great credentials. She learned from some Gino fella who coached somewhere in Connecticut. How do you say his name? He's new to the league.
I think it's Auriemma.
That's it. Gino Auriemma. We were going to get there.
Yeah.
He's a name to keep an eye on. Julie Popisilova, Sydney Hilliard, and Marisa Moseley are joining me here. You were at your alma mater. You were winning as a team. You were winning awards. Why come here?
To win as a team and win awards, obviously. I think when the opportunity presented itself, I looked at it from the big picture, right? This incredible conference, you get to recruit kids to a wonderful institution that has a great educational tradition. And then also you have the challenge, right, of being able to take a program that hasn't had as much success as they've wanted to, and you look at the other teams across the university and they've all win. And I was like, well, so can we.
What was the first impression the two of you had when you met her?
Not what I expected. But no, she's been great in the best way possible. Okay. Yes. But yeah, it's been amazing so far. We're learning so much from her, and I just can't wait for the season to start.
Yeah, it definitely was. I wasn't expecting this. She just always brings so much positive energy to the court and even outside, and she knows how to balance fun and seriousness and on the court.
Let me follow up on that first meeting, though. Do you remember? I mean, did she say anything that registered? Did she do anything that registered? I could see a new coach giving a trinket and saying this means something to us, or making a speech or a quote of something. Was there anything that stands out?
I just remember her. I was nervous, first of all, to meet her. But yeah, we were on a Zoom call, and she just came out with so much energy. I wasn't expecting this. I was expecting, okay, this is what we're going to do. But then it's just nothing like that. She makes you feel so comfortable, and even from that first initial meeting, I knew this was going to be special.
Yeah.
Julie, how did she do the first time she tried to say her last name?
Really bad.
We were working on it this morning.
I'm still practicing.
She's still struggling.
I really think it's important, right? Everybody, whether your last name is Jones or Pospisilova.
Pospisilova?
Yeah.
Who was closer?
Yeah, Pospisilova, yeah. It's close.
I was better.
Just work on it later.
I think you got worse that time.
You know what, Mike? Let's move on.
Okay, moving on. That's fair. How do you describe your coaching style?
I think I'm intense. I think I'm very detail-oriented. I love to teach the game. And then I also, like to tell people why we're doing things. And then I'm committed to winning. I'm pretty competitive.
Yeah.
So that's in a nutshell.
You're right. These are big picture things. What about a little more micro? Do you want your team to be high scoring like a Maryland or an Iowa, or do you want to be more defensive focused like a Northwestern?
Yeah. So I was, growing up and kind of all throughout my college days, and then after coaching, it was all about defense. You hear the old adage, defense wins championships. And then I met that Gino guy, and I learned so much, and my eyes were open to offense. So I want us to play up tempo, but in a deliberate way, right? So I don't want to just take crazy shots. I want to make sure that we get a wide open layup or a three, and we take a shot that we want. And then in the half court, I want us to be able to execute so you can play both ways. Because especially as you start to build and you get deeper into a postseason, which is our goal, you have to be able to do that in the half court.
How long does that take?
Yeah, well, I have to give these ladies credit. For us, typically when I took over at BU, it's taking you a little bit while to get your system in. They just have been so hungry, and they've been really, bought into the vision. And so I think, the chemistry piece takes time, but as far as picking up what we're trying to do and then executing, and I think the more they see that it's working, the confidence builds, they have more fun with it. And so we're rolling.
Yeah. You mentioned BU. Katie Nelson was on that BU team. She's coming with you.
Yes.
Why was that important?
Well, after I had the, unbelievable opportunity to coach her for 3 years, and I looked at our team, and as much talent as we had, we didn't necessarily have a floor general on the court. Sid did a great job last year, but I think being able to give her a little bit of help was important. And, when leaving and how kind of COVID fell, and you have this COVID year, it all kind of the stars aligned, and I'm so grateful that she decided to come with and become a Badger.
Yeah. Sydney, how does the vibe feel different right now with this team?
The vibe. Okay. I would say it's definitely been a positive and energetic and competitive vibe.
It's a good answer.
Yeah. A little bit of everything, honestly. But, I mean, we're only just getting started. So I think just building on what we know now and just continuing to grow as a team.
Yeah. What's cool about you is you took a nice jump last year from the year before. Your productivity was so much better. What do you think was the main reason why?
I would say just being more aggressive. I think when I'm aggressive, that helps other players, whether I'm looking to score, I'm facilitating. I think whenever someone's aggressive, it always turns out well for someone. So, yeah.
Julie, what's it like being on the court with Sydney?
It's great. I always know I can rely on her. She sees me on the floor, so we know how we move on the court. So it's good to have someone that knows how I play and I know how she plays as well.
I don't know if this is a fair question, but I'm going to try it anyways. One of the themes we've had yesterday and today is how truly talented and deep this league is. And it just wasn't the case 10 years ago, even 5 years ago. Do you think you would have taken this job if the league was where it was 5 years ago?
Oh, yeah, absolutely. Because I don't think that wasn't the main selling point for me, right? I wanted to make sure that wherever I was at, we had, an expectation of excellence and that we were going to try to be the best that we could be at that school. So if the league wasn't there, then we would just elevate Wisconsin and then we would put ourselves in a position to be a national contender. So now it only helps. It's just kind of elevated the excitement around it. But yes, absolutely. And I now that I've been here for 6 months, I can say this is the absolute right choice for me.
Well, Sydney, Marisa, and Julie Popisilova.
Yeah.
Thank you all for being here. Congrats on the gig. You're going to get it.
I'm working on it, and this is the positive reinforcement that I'm looking for.
You're going to get it.
Thank you.
I believe in you. Much easier names over with you, right, Dave?
Yeah, I can handle Johnny Davis and Tyler Wahl. This Greg Gard thing's challenging, though. Here's the outlook for the Badgers, a team that lost a lot from last year, a team that made it to the second round of the NCAA tournament. They do bring back veteran Brad Davison, though. They were active in the transfer portal, and now the Badgers look to move forward with a very young team as we do welcome Johnny Davis, Tyler Wahl, along with Coach Greg Gard. And, Coach, I was joking earlier with Stephen Bardo and Andy Katz. I said, as a play-by-play guy, you were fined last year if you did not make the comparison within the first 5 minutes of the game to the age of Wisconsin's starting lineup and the age of the Chicago Bulls, right? We were in trouble. We would get disciplined.
That's an old joke now, right?
Well, it's true, though, right? It really was remarkable. Right. So how is it different with this group?
Now we are the age of the Bulls.
Yeah, exactly.
I think with this group, what I've watched is how they've come together, and you showed Jacoby Neath and Chris Vogt up on the screen, and the experience that they brought to the table and helped us. Obviously, we have Brad back, but these two guys sitting to my left obviously have been tremendous in terms of stepping into a leadership voice and a void. And obviously, they're two really good players. You combine these two with the other guys we have back, and the young guys that are now, it's their turn to step center stage, and they paid their dues, so they're ready to go.
How is it different, guys, with you now being viewed as leaders on this team, whereas last year this was such a senior-laden group? Johnny, I'll start with you.
I'm really excited to take on this leadership role. It's just having to deal with a lot of confidence in yourself if you're going to be a leader, and leading by example, and vocally too.
Tyler?
Yeah, it's very exciting. Me and Johnny both have done our time, and it's that time for us to step into a leadership role, and we're both really excited to do that.
I do want to ask you guys a little bit about team chemistry. Kind of have to based on what happened this summer. The guys who were involved in the tape that came out, by and large, are gone, except for Brad Davis, who obviously opted to come back. But how have you addressed that with this group and look to move forward?
Well, I've always been open and honest with our guys, and to talk about things in any light, in any facet of life that they want to talk about. So for us, it's open communication as always. They know my door's always open. They can come grab me any time. They see me every single day. So they've handled it all the right way. I think we've all handled it the right way, and unfortunately, somebody did that in our locker room in a private. These guys have very few safe havens as it is, so I'm very protective of them. So when that trust gets violated a little bit, that irritates me. But these guys have been terrific in terms of how they've handled everything.
Give us a sense of how you feel like the program's move forward from that, Johnny.
Can you repeat the question, please?
Just everything that happened in the offseason and how you guys have moved forward from it.
I'm really comfortable with the new guys that we got in. Really, really great guys, great players too. But I just think this year's going to be a lot more exciting, just because of the new guys, new faces that you're going to see on the TV.
I want to talk about one of the old faces first. Brad Davison has been around seemingly forever. What does he bring in terms of leadership to this program? I want to hear from you first, Coach, but then I'm interested in the players as well.
Yeah, I think, anytime you can have somebody like that with that experience come back in your locker room and help mentor some younger guys, obviously a very good player too, but, one of the best leaders I've been around in terms of my career in 30-some years, just because of how he lives every day. The glass is never half empty with Brad. It's always overflowing. He doesn't have a bad day. How you see him play is how he practices every day. But he's also done a very good job of helping these guys kind of step center stage, and they've done a great job of finding their voice and taking on a big leadership role.
It's interesting because Brad has been on some really good teams, as you guys are well aware, and as you look to be one of those really good teams, how can you lean on him, Tyler?
Yeah, he's great to have around. Me and Johnny both were considered leaders of this team, and Brad's been there and done that. So we have a question about how we need to talk to someone or how we can go to Coach Gard or this coach. It's great to have someone to lean on and ask questions.
I want to ask you a little bit about the point guard spot. Dimitri Trice has moved on, so that opens up that spot. How do you fill it? I know the portal maybe is part of the answer, but give me a sense of where you guys are.
Well, I think we've got some very good players that have either been in the program or have arrived in the program that, we're only 6 days in, so we're still figuring some things out. But
you don't have all the answers yet?
No, I don't. It might take a while, but no, we've got some very exciting guys that could. We have a lot of playmakers that we can put the ball in their hands. So Chucky Hepburn, obviously a freshman. Lauren Bowman is now back this year after taking a medical leave last year. Jacoby Neath, as I mentioned, and who knows, maybe my guy to my left here might see it a little bit too. He smiles when I talk about
point guard, Johnny?
I used to play point guard a little bit when I was younger.
Yeah. So is that a role you could see yourself in this year?
I'll play any role I need to help the team win.
Give us a sense of Chucky Hepburn. I'm interested from a player's point of view. I know there's been a lot of buzz here early on about his skills.
He's such a talented player. I really like how he takes defense as seriously as he does. We're doing pickup, and he's picking up guys full court. Nobody else is doing that. So I just like the way he plays and his mentality and how he approaches the game.
Does he have a little Davison in him? That sounds like kind of a Davison move.
Yeah, he's a real scrappy guy.
What's your take on watching Chucky so far?
Yeah, Chucky's great. He can go out there and score, but what really impresses me is his defense. He can go up there and get in his shorts, and he's not afraid to stir the pot a little bit. If it's an older guy or someone that his own age, he's willing to do whatever it takes.
You mentioned Neath in the transfer portal. Chris Vogt as well, a really big body.
Right.
How does his game kind of translate to your system?
Well, I think the biggest thing is the experience he brings. He's won championships at Northern Kentucky, and then he went with the coaching change to Cincinnati, and they won a championship there his junior year. So the experience that he brings to our locker room helps. And obviously his size at 7'1", he's really long around the rim, can play with his back to the basket. And then our two younger guys, Stephen Crowell and Ben Carlson, have really taken steps forward. So it's an exciting group. I think I really like what I've seen. I'm excited to have our fans watch them play.
Yeah, Ben Carlson is someone who I know we were excited about in recruiting. Right. And then just because of how much experience you had at that spot, we didn't get a chance to see a lot of him. But give people who haven't seen him play, give them a sense of his game.
Ben's a really talented player. Really good defensive presence around the rim.
Yeah, Johnny hit it to a T, and I would say he's a really good shot blocker. He's got a quick jump.
Tyler, is Johnny Davis ready to be a star?
I think Johnny's ready. He's got everything that it takes to be a star in this league, and coming off of a USA gold medal, I think he's ready to go.
How about this guy?
I've been looking forward to it, man. I can't wait for the season to start. He's been so great in practices. He's been here for 2 years already now. doesn't seem like that long, but the way he plays and the way he's vocal with how he plays defense, offense, anything, it's just really exciting.
Johnny Davis, Tyler Wahl, Greg Gard, really good to see you guys. Have
Thanks,
a great
Dave.
year.
Thank you.